What if I told you? Candace Owens just dropped proof, so while it might finally end Erika Kirk's perfect Christian wife image forever, yeah, this isn't some rumor floating around Reddit. This is what Candace herself called the receipts everyone was too scared to show, and when I tell you the internet exploded, I mean timelines, podcasts, and even church Facebook groups were melting down trying to make sense of what just dropped, because here's the thing, for months, whispers have followed TPUSA money trails, deleted emails, weird charity expenses that didn't look so holy. And now, Candace Owens is naming names. Erika Kirk, the woman who once fronted faithful women in media, just got crushed under Candace's screenshots, D-Miz. And what people are calling the bombshell voice note was Erika secretly playing both sides, posing as the moral compass while cashing in behind the scenes. Did Candace just blow open the biggest conservative influencer cover-up since the Ben Shapiro tax expose? Something's off. Something's big. And tonight, we're breaking down the shocking proof, the betrayal, and the receipts that might just end a movement built on lies. Let's rewind this whole mess for a second. Because to really understand why Candace Owens went nuclear, you have to see how deep Erika Kirk was sitting in this web. On the surface, Erika's image was spotless, the soft-spoken host, the smiling believer, the supportive wife of Charlie Kirk, founder of TPUSA, but beneath that Sunday morning glow was a machine built on sponsorship money, donor manipulation, and a PR script tighter than a Hollywood contract. It started small. A few followers noticed TPUSA's faith outreach events looked suspiciously more like luxury influencer retreats. Instead of Bible studies, there were champagne brunches, brand collabs, and gift bags loaded with designer merch, all allegedly billed to donor engagement. People brushed it off. Until Candace Owens started connecting the dots. She posted one clip, just one, teasing that she had proof of financial misrepresentation tied directly to the Kirks within hours. Twitter spaces were on fire. Erika's name trended alongside words like embezzlement, fake receipts, and tax write-offs. Screenshots began circulating showing TPUSA invoices for spiritual development sessions that were actually payments to luxury resorts in Arizona and Florida. Now, here's where it got messy. An anonymous insider, supposedly a former TPUSA assistant, leaked a string of emails showing Erika personally approving image-building expenses disguised as faith initiatives. The language was vague, deliberately blurred, things like wellness retreat, God-centered reflection that cost donors nearly $90,000, and that's when Candace went live, grinning like she just found gold, in her trademark calm but cutthroat tone. She said, "I've warned you about hypocrisy in conservative spaces before. I told you some of these people use faith as a business model, and now I have the documents." She didn't even say Erika's name at first. She didn't have to. The audience knew. Behind the scenes, other influencers started scrubbing posts that featured Erika or TPUSA's Faith in Action campaign. Sponsors ghosted overnight. Erika's podcast episodes started vanishing one by one from Spotify. And Candace? She doubled down. She promised a full expose on her next stream, with names, numbers, and God as my witness. That line hit hard, because it wasn't just about money anymore. It was about reputation, morality, and betrayal inside a movement that preached accountability. When the explosive proof finally dropped, it was brutal. Candace shared screenshots of internal memos showing that Erika had allegedly rerouted donor funds to a shell company registered under her maiden name. The company's purpose? Consulting and brand partnerships. The documents even had Erika's digital signature. The conservative online world split in half overnight. Some fans defended her, saying Candace was being jealous or divisive. Others claimed this was the reckoning they'd been waiting for. And in the middle of it all, Erika went silent. No statements, no tweets, no denial. And silence, in this kind of drama, speaks louder than confession, because if there's one thing Candace Owens knows how to do, it's control the narrative. She didn't just drop receipts, she narrated them like a prosecutor on camera. She laid out timeline graphics, donor transaction histories, and even a supposed voice recording of Erika discussing how to keep optics clean, whether real or fake didn't even matter anymore. The damage was done. People started revisiting old interviews, noticing micro-expressions, reanalyzing clips like detectives in a Netflix docuseries. Erika's quote, "I don't do this for money, I do this for ministry," became a meme overnight. The same faith-based slogans that once built her brand now became punchlines, and just when everyone thought this couldn't go further, another twist landed. Candace teased she wasn't acting alone. She said a network of insiders helped her gather evidence, and that what they found was way bigger than one influencer. The screen faded to black. The live stream ended, and the internet collectively held its breath, because if the pattern from the last few years has taught us anything, it's that once Candace Owens gets momentum, the story doesn't end, it snowballs. And for Erika Kirk, that snowball was about to become an avalanche. When Candace Owens went dark after that live stream, everyone assumed she dropped everything she had. But now what came next made the first leak look like a teaser trailer. Within 48 hours, a 27-page PDF labeled TPUSA Faith Division Internal Review, confidential surfaced online. Nobody knew who uploaded it, but the watermark. It read EK Consulting Group, the same company Candace had mentioned. Coincidence? Not a chance. The report outlined irregular expenditures dating back to years' donations, supposedly meant for scholarships, and outreach programs redirected to personal brand development, translation, luxury hotel suites, private stylists, and conference prep trips to Cabo and Milan. It even listed dates when Erika Kirk had posted selfies from those same locations, tagging hashtag faith and freedom. Screenshots went viral in seconds. Candace didn't even need to say anything this time. Her followers did the heavy lifting thread after thread, comparing receipts, timestamps, and corporate filings. One viral post read, "She built an empire preaching modesty while charging donors for Dior. Brutal." Now, Erika's silence started to look less like grace under pressure and more like pure panic. Sources close to TPUSA leaked that internal Slack channels were on lockdown. Staff were told to avoid public comment and prepare coordinated messaging. Translation, they were layering up. But Candace? She smelled blood. She went live again, this time with what she called the audio nobody thought I'd play. The clip was grainy, the voices muffled, but you could clearly hear a woman who sounded an awful lot like Erika saying, "We'll just reclassify it as donor engagement. No one checks the sub-budget." Boom, Twitter detonated. Hashtag Ericaught trended for hours. Podcasts scrambled to cover it. Even neutral commentators who normally stayed out of conservative influencer drama jumped in, calling it the scandal of the year. And while the internet tore itself apart, Erika tried one last-minute move. She posted a single black and white Instagram story with the words, "God knows my heart, no denial, no explanation, just vibes." It backfired instantly. Memes flooded TikTok. People remixed her line with gospel music, fake donation jars, and captions like, "God may know your heart, but the IRS knows your PayPal, savage." Meanwhile, an alleged anonymous TPUSA donor appeared on a YouTube channel claiming they'd been misled by a female director into funding events that never happened. The video racked up 1 million views in a day. Candace quote tweeted it with 3 words, "Told you." So that's when the mainstream conservative outlets started whispering, not about Erika directly, but about financial irregularities in TPUSA's Faith Division. The Daily Wire dropped a cryptic headline, "Trouble in Paradise?" Fox commentators danced around the subject. Everyone knew who they meant, but didn't dare say it out loud. Backstage, multiple sources, and let's be honest, probably Candace's demons claimed Erika's team offered hush money to a few staffers who had access to the books. Some took it, some didn't, and those who didn't, they started leaking too. Emails, memos, even a photo of Erika attending a private women's business retreat in Aspen paid for by what one invoice called community outreach development. You couldn't make this up if you tried. By now, Candace Owens was doing victory laps. On her podcast, she joked, "I'm not saying anyone committed fraud, but if they did, the evidence is pretty fabulous." The audience roared. She leaned back, smirked, and added, "God bless transparency. It was entertainment, investigation, and execution all rolled into one." But the ripple effects went deeper. TPUSA insiders were reportedly freaking out. Donors demanded audits, and one regional director resigned for personal reasons. Candace hinted that wasn't the only resignation coming. She said, and I quote, "When you build a platform on purity and pocketbooks, the collapse writes itself." At this point, Erika's inner circle started to fracture. A few close friends unfollowed her. Collaborators deleted old clips. Even her husband, Charlie Kirk, who built his brand on outrage politics, stayed eerily quiet. That silence said everything. Because in the influencer world, loyalty vanishes faster than sponsorship deals. Still, Erika tried damage control emails to supporters of Faith Retreat rebranding, whispers of Ray launching under a new ministry name. But the screenshots didn't lie. Candace and her crew kept dropping pieces of the puzzle one by one, each more devastating than the last dot, and by the time part 3 of this storm hit, the conversation had shifted from "did she do it?" to "how bad will it get?" By the time the third wave hit, Erika Kirk's entire brand was hanging by a thread. What started as just another influencer spat had turned into a full-blown crisis management nightmare. The hashtag TPUSA scandal had millions of views across TikTok, and every podcast host with a microphone suddenly had exclusive insight into Erika's downfall. But the real bomb. A new video surfaced, leaked security footage allegedly showing Erika attending a private donor meeting at a luxury Scottsdale villa. According to the captions plastered across Twitter, that meeting was where TPUSA's Faith Division Fund was quietly divided between board members and media outreach partners. You could see Erika smiling, shaking hands, toasting glasses. It wasn't incriminating on its own, until someone matched the timestamp to an invoice Candace had shown earlier, the same one labeled Retreat for Community Leadership. Once again, the internet lost its mind. Threads popped up like wildfire. "This is her Enron moment. The receipts don't lie." Candace even hinted that she had 2 more hours of unseen footage, and if the right people didn't start talking, she'd release them. It was a digital hostage situation, and Candace held all the power. Now, what made this even more surreal was how quickly Erika's supporters flipped. A week earlier, they were posting Bible quotes defending her. Now, those same voices were tweeting things like, "We prayed for you, Erika." But this is too much. The betrayal wasn't just personal, it was public, loud, and permanent. Then came the cherry on top, reports of a federal inquiry. One anonymous journalist claimed the IRS's Charitable Oversight Division had taken interest in TPUSA's faith-based spending. Whether true or not didn't matter. The headline alone was enough to seal Erika's fate. Sponsors cut ties. Events were postponed. Her podcast feed was scrubbed clean. The empire was collapsing in real time. Candace Owens, meanwhile, was playing chess while everyone else was playing checkers. She didn't just expose Erika, she used it to position herself as the new face of moral authority within conservative media. On her next episode, she said, "I don't enjoy taking people down. But when you exploit faith for profit, expect the truth to come knocking." The audience went wild. Meanwhile, Erika tried one final Hail Mary, a pre-recorded apology video titled "Setting the Record Straight." But the moment it dropped, viewers noticed something strange. No emotion, no clarity, no accountability. She spoke in circles about forgiveness, spiritual warfare, and the pain of public misunderstanding. Nowhere did she deny the allegations. Nowhere did she mention the money. The comment section turned into a battlefield. One user wrote, "Girl, this ain't a sermon, it's an audit." Another said, "If you're innocent, show the receipts like Candace did. It was over, behind closed doors." Reports claimed TPUSA leadership was preparing to distance itself entirely from Erika's projects. Some speculated she'd been quietly asked to resign. Others believed she'd already been cut off financially. And in the middle of it all, Candace posted one last cryptic tweet. Sometimes, the loudest sermons are the ones preached in silence. The symbolism was brutal. Erika's silence wasn't holiness, it was guilt, disguised as humility. By the end of that week, Erika Kirk had become the cautionary tale of modern conservative media, a reminder that you can't preach purity while hiding profits. Her accounts went private, her website disappeared, and her once polished empire crumbled under the weight of explosive proof. And Candace, she walked away untouched, victorious, and trending. But here's the twist most people missed. This wasn't just about Erika, this was about control, reputation, and dominance in a digital arena where exposure equals influence. Candace knew that. She weaponized truth, or at least the appearance of it, and used it to crown herself queen of accountability. In the end, Erika's fall wasn't just one scandal. It was a mirror held up to an entire industry built on branding morality while living off deception. And as the dust settled, one question lingered over every headline, every reaction, every clip. If Candace could destroy Erika with proof, who might she go after next? And there it is, the rise, the receipts, and the ruthless collapse of Erika Kirk. What started as whispers in the background turned into one of the most talked about scandals in the conservative influencer world. But what do you think? Was Candace Owens really exposing corruption, or just seizing the spotlight for herself? Was Erika a victim of power politics, or the mastermind behind a faith-based money machine? Because let's be real, every truth in this world comes wrapped in someone else's agenda. And while the internet plays judge and jury, the real story might be hiding in plain sight. So don't just scroll past this one. I want to hear from you. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Who's really telling the truth here? Who's playing the game better? And do you think this was the end, or just the beginning of something even bigger? You've been watching Exclusive Exposed, the only place where the headlines get stripped down and the real story comes to light. Hit that like button, subscribe for more explosive breakdowns, and turn on notifications because the next truth bomb could drop any second.